Okay guys, Season 4 has just dropped for My Hero Ultra Rumble, and if you want to test the new Shigaraki Quirk skill set, this is how you do it. You go into training, you go to the characters, and you go to change Quirk skill set, and you can see right there that I was able to switch to the new Quirk skill set to at least try it out. Now, unfortunately, with Quirk skill sets as of right now, there is no way to like rent them or use rental tickets on them to actually try them out in game, so you have to get lucky enough and pull that Quirk skill set on the banner. Now, I have not been lucky enough to actually pull the Quirk skill set, just like with Full Bullet Deku, so maybe eventually I'll get to try out Shigaraki's Quirk in an actual game, but for right now I got a little bit of gameplay right here where you can kind of see his abilities in action, and I do really like his new movement ability. It is so good being able to travel up in the air, and you're actually able to like go to the bottom of this mall right here and go all the way up to the top with his movement ability. It's insane how good his movement ability is. But besides all of this, with his new Quirk skill set, which is definitely, like, in my opinion, the most hyped thing to come out for Season 4, we also have a lot of like quality of life patches and bug fixes and character changes, specifically like a Todoroki change that we've been waiting what feels like forever for this Todoroki change, and I feel like a lot of people are going to be happy about it. So there's just a lot to talk about, a lot of characters to go over, a lot of things to go over in this game that I am looking forward to going over with you guys. And you know, Season 4 is honestly a bit of a breath of fresh air from Season 3. I mean, Season 3 had good stuff at the beginning, but then these seasons just seem to drag on for a while where we don't really get a whole lot of content. We get the mid-season patch twice, which was like big. This season we will get All For One, if you don't already know, so that will be big as well. We also have another Quirk skill set confirmed to be coming sometime later this season. I think it's probably going to be Bakugo. We don't know exactly for sure who it's going to be. They could always switch it, but probably going to be Bakugo. So right here you can see the movement. I kind of messed it up here. So you do the ground slam if you hold it too long, or if you press it like again, it'll do the ground slam. So you got to be kind of careful with your timing. It's kind of weird. I haven't fully figured out how to do this movement ability here yet, but there we are able to get to the top of the roof with 2 moves, and that is at level 1 on that skill, so that's pretty good. But overall, very happy with Shigaraki's Quirk skill set. Let's talk about the other stuff coming right now in Season 4. Okay, so we're going to start with the system improvements and just kind of work our way down. I'm going to try to go through some of this stuff kind of quickly because a lot of the stuff to the average player you're not really going to care that much about. I'll go over the stuff that really matters. So this first part, it does kind of matter. Added missions and rewards for reaching a specific rank to special missions. So we got achieved amateur rank 1, achieved pro rank 1, and ace rank, and for reaching those ranks, you will now get costumes. They are just kind of recolored skins though, so I don't think they're that great. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure they're recolored skins though. If they're more than that, you know, let me know in the comments, but I'm pretty sure based on like what I was able to see in the achievements tab that is just like recolored skins, so I don't think it's all that great. They also changed the background in the main menu, so it's no longer just like the USJ background. You got like it's the Season 4 background now. You can just log into the game and see that yourself. They also changed so that the equipment state of the aura can also be saved in preset of customize. I honestly don't even, I guess now you can preset auras, essentially is all that is. And then they changed so that the item will not be used even if the item use button is pressed while the item box is being unlocked. I don't even know what this means, honestly. If someone fully understands what that means, let me know in the comments. Like, I changed so that the item will not be used even if the item use button is pressed while the item box is being unlocked. I assume this is in the main menus, but it doesn't say like for what. It doesn't say for costumes. It's really vague, and some of the stuff that they put in here, it looks like it was just translated like really badly. I don't know or what happened with it, but like even when I was reading through the character skill sets for this specific set of patch notes, it was just weird. Okay, so bear with me on that. Like, I'm not going to understand everything, and if you understand it, let us know in the comments. Make it easier for everyone else to understand if it's important. If it's not important, don't worry about it. Like, I don't think this right here is going to be all that important, but that's just my opinion. We'll see how it ends up working out, you know, here. Changed the specifications of KO assist. Previously, this is actually important. It was counted by just dealing damage to a downed opponent, but it's been changed so that it will not be counted as a KO assist unless damage is done before the opponent goes down. So that's good. It means cooperation now. It's not just putting a little bit of damage in on a downed opponent and, oh, I have an assist now. Now, I actually thought it was this way before, so this makes me happy though, that now you have to do damage before the opponent goes down, and then it's counted as a KO assist. That's good. Inflicting an abnormal status ailment on the opponent also is going to count as a assist. So like for example, with Aizawa's special action Erasure, it will also be judged as a KO assist. So now using Erasure, and even though you're not really doing damage, you are doing something in the fight that's helpful, that counts as a KO assist. That's really good. I actually like that addition. I don't know who else this is actually going to apply to. Maybe with shields. They didn't really specifically say that shielding your allies will help give you a KO assist, but maybe like something with Kendo Shield will count as a KO assist now. We'll have to see. When damage is caused to the clone created by Twice's special action Mad Imitation, the damage value will be displayed and added to the damage score. So apparently before the clone from Twice's special action, that when you clone the opponent, right, any damage they did wasn't added to your damage score. So now I guess it is. Okay, good to know. Continuing on, changed aim assist. This is probably I think this is good. I don't play on console, but I believe a lot of people were complaining about this. So hopefully this is a good fix, not a bad fix or a bad change. But changed aim assist specifications to Season 2 status on PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo Switch versions. To Season 2 status? Okay. I mean, I assume this is just a fix for, aim assist though. Hopefully that makes it better. Ideally. In the Nintendo Switch version, the functions of profile introduction and agency introduction have been released because Switch didn't get those earlier. In the Nintendo Switch version, a reset camera item was added to the controls because they don't know how to reset their own cameras. So I don't know. Switch is having its own issues, its own special issues. So if you play on Switch, I'm sorry. Bug fixes. So we had a bunch of bug fixes. These are just kind of like emblems were changed here. This is stuff that doesn't really matter too much. I don't think people are going to care too much about this. Fixed a bug that caused the roll color of the KO login icon to change when a different quirk skill set was KO'd. Fixed a bug that caused the roll color to change for like different quirk skill sets. Basically, things were not appearing right with the different quirk skill sets. Essentially, nothing too crazy there. Fixed a bug that prevented characters who had changed their quirk skill sets from requesting quirk skill cards. I mean, yeah, I guess. Fixed the location of item boxes that cannot be unlocked because they are buried in buildings and ground or objects. So they just actually fixed their game. They fixed their map essentially, or not map, but fixed where items were spawning on the map. So okay, that's decent, right? Not anything. I don't think those are things that really affected the game too much and made it like hard to play. So if anything, the game's just getting better. Quality of life fixes is what these are, right? More than anything. Fixed a display error when the quirk skill set is ejected from the roll. Fixed a bug where Katsuki Bakugo's quirk skill Alpha AP shot sometimes did not penetrate hidden objects, so now it can. Fixed a bug where the damage would not be reduced when Katsuki Bakugo's quirk skill Alpha AP penetrated a shield. So now shields are going to reduce his damage a little bit more, which means hopefully that helps prevent the spamming that he does. Of course, Bakugo, Deku, those characters are always going to be very good in the game, I feel like, no matter what. Fixed a bug where Shigaraki Tomora's quirk skill Beta ground destruction would sometimes not hit the opponent. So this is the original quirk skill set, I do believe, with the ground destruction. So apparently sometimes that would not hit the opponent. Now that's fixed, so you don't have to worry about that. Fixed a bug in which the color of the UI frame of the quirk skill, blah blah blah, that just it doesn't matter. Okay, quirk skill set was transformed by Himika Toga. It's just a confusing whatever. Fixed a bug where when the clone generated by Twice's quirk skill Beta self-duplicate guard breaks the opponent, the SE could be heard by everyone. That would be kind of annoying. So now now it's not going to be like a global audio cue. It'll be just something that's within a certain area. Okay, now we get to the good stuff. Okay, so like I said, a lot of that stuff, just thank you for bearing with me. It's quality of life stuff. It's good for the game. I don't think anybody's going to care too much about it. Now, this is the stuff definitely people are going to care about. So, Shoto Todoroki. This is a big nerf on him. Quirk skill Gamma Ice Stalagmite. So this is the one that everybody has been annoyed by. The hitbox is ridiculous. It's just up too often, and it's really annoying. They increased reload speed, meaning it takes longer for it to reload. Okay, whenever they say increased, I know it's confusing. They word this kind of weird, but that is a nerf. Okay, so increased reload speed is a nerf. Decreased frozen state time. This is also a nerf because that means opponents are going to be frozen for a shorter amount of time. Okay, so basically it takes longer for him to use a skill and he doesn't freeze opponents for as long. So this is a massive nerf to Todoroki. This is actually, I would argue, a good nerf. Is it too much? I don't know. We'll have to see once we get in the game if it's too much of a nerf, but I think that is a nerf that was like desperately needed and people really wanted to see. For casual players specifically, if you're in the upper echelons of pro player or whatever, you're an ace rank, then that might not matter as much to you. Like Todoroki's still just okay. Denki Kaminari. Quirk skill Alpha, Electro Target, increases the duration of numbness due to connected electricity. So basically, from my understanding on this, correct me if I'm wrong, Quirk skill Alpha, Electro Target is now going to have a longer stun on his Alpha. And then Quirk skill Gamma, on the other hand, is getting a nerf, Human Stun Gun, reduce numbness time, so meaning it's not going to stun for as long. So Alpha is going to stun longer, Gamma is going to stun shorter. Essentially is what I get from that. Aijiro Kirishima, special action Hardening, change so that the effect will end if you take a damage reaction while it is active. This is where it's so weird. This is something I actually need to get into the game and test out. But from my understanding, the way I'm reading that is if you take damage, like the hardening will work, right? It will reduce damage for that first hits or first chain of hits maybe, but then it turns off your special action so that you start taking normal damage right after you get hit like so many times or hit once. I don't know how that's actually going to work. If you know, if you've already tested it out in the game, if you're a Kirishima main, let us know in the comments. But essentially, I think that's a nerf to his special action. So that's going to be really interesting to see in this season how that ends up working out, because I know Kirishima, he's good. He's been very, very strong, especially in casual play. But like as far as the best characters in the game, he's definitely not the best. So that's a crazy big nerf for him if that is the way I'm reading it, right? Where it just turns off when he gets hit, which is crazy. Momo Yayorozu, big buff for her. Special action, Yayorozu's Lucky Bag, changed so that it can be used from the start of battle, which is good. Changed so that the team enhancement kit will be discharged with a low probability. I think it was a higher probability before, so that might actually be a nerf right there. I don't know what the probability was on it before. I don't know if they ever actually came out and said that before. And then they also changed it though, so I think this is a buff, so that depending on the team situation, item bag or revive card is ejected. Okay, so that revive card can be massive to people. Having Yayorozu on your team for that like almost guaranteed revive card would be very, very nice. And then Shota Aizawa, Quirk skill Alpha, Binding Cloth Capture. This is a big change. Change so that the Binding Cloth deals damage when it hits. That is big. That is so big. And then reduce shockwave damage from flying kicks. Like, okay, so the trade-off is now your flying kick, when you come down and land your drop kick on people, the shockwave that comes out is not going to do as much damage. But the trade-off is that now whenever you land the Binding Cloth on people, it does damage. Okay, so that's I like that. That's better. I think that's better. Dabi, special action Unquenchable Flame, changed the skill name to Unquenchable Flame, and then changed to revive the down self when activated. Okay, so that is a big change. So now Dabi can revive himself. That is a massive, that is going to make Dabi so much better. That is really, that might be the biggest change here in these patch notes. So hopefully you stuck around until this point in the video, because that is big. That is really big. That is awesome. I can't believe they did that. That's going to be big. Dabi players have to be very happy right now. I don't know if it's still going to cause the flames around you. I would assume so, and then it revives you at the same time. We'll have to wait and see. Well, actually, we don't have to wait and see. Well, I'll have to get in the game and see if we still have the flames. I have not actually tried all of these. There's so many characters to try right away, right? And I'm making this video on the day of the release of this patch. So I need to get into the game. I need to try this out. But that is massive. That is a massive update, in my opinion. Twice, aerial melee attack, reduce the damage. Okay, Twice got a lot of changes, by the way, but he is the newest character. Makes sense. Quirk skill Alpha, dagger shot, reduce damage at all levels, so nerf. Quirk skill Beta, this is right after they buffed him too, kind of sad. Quirk skill Beta, self-duplicate, decrease clone survival time at all levels. That's a nerf. Change so that the level of quirk skill used by clones increases at level 4 and 9, and then change so that the clone receives the follow-up effect of the opponent's attack. Okay, so overall I would say I think this is a pretty big net nerf for Twice so far. Let's take a look at the others. Quirk skill Gamma, foot boost, change so that measures follow the opponent. That's actually good. That's a buff, so it makes it better. Adjustments to make it easier to hit attacks after a move with the measure, because it was hard to use the measuring tape on this skill if you actually wanted to hit opponents. It was only really good for mobility, so that's technically probably a buff right there. Special action Mud Imitation, change so that the generated clone of the opponent uses quirk skill Alpha, Beta, and Gamma, and then set the number of opponent clones that can exist at the same time to 6. They limited it! No! Change so that if there are more than 6 clones, the oldest clone will disappear. Of course, they limited it. I can only imagine what the lobbies ended up looking like. I thought it was crazy that they were allowing unlimited clones to begin with, but hey, they wanted the character to be broken. When they released him, it makes sense. They overtune, any game like this really overtunes characters for launch. get people to play them, get people interested in them, and then they put them about where they want them to be. So now they're starting to put twice, I guess, where they want him to be. But I'm going to miss the unlimited clones. That is a big change. Rip. Mr. Compress, special action, magic resurrection, changed the quirk. See, they couldn't even spell quirk, right? See, reading this sometimes is painful. Who do they have working for them? Who does their English? Okay, change the quirk name to magic resurrection. And so change so that you can carry a downed ally and revive them when you release them. That's sick. I like how they said revive it when you release it. It's just okay. But yeah, that is also another really big change for Compress. I feel like Dabi's self-resurrect is like more hype, but this is still pretty hype right here. Being able to resurrect allies now, that's big. That's really big. I feel like this is what it should have been from the beginning. I think I said something about this like quite a few times in quite a few videos before, that if you could do this, this would be sick, and they finally did it. So that is amazing. I love that. That is really, really good. I think that's also going to make Compress mains very happy. So I think a lot of people are going to be very happy with these patch notes so far. Todoroki nerf, Dabi buff, Compress buff, like really, really nice stuff. Mount Lady, last quirk skill to be changed here. Quirk skill beta, Caldera Stomp, adjusted to make it easier for the opponent to be blown away. That way, hopefully, this is technically, I would say, a nerf, okay? She can't just stand there and spam you to death with that Caldera Stomp, so that's technically a nerf to Mount Lady, so she's not going to be as insanely good as she was, especially like in the higher levels of play. Like, she was incredibly, incredibly annoying. So, all around, I would say very, very good patch notes, like amazingly good patch notes, good changes to characters. I'm super excited about Shigaraki's new quirk skill set. As you saw at the beginning, it looked very, very nice, and season 4 is shaping up to look very nice in my opinion. But let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments below, and now we just have to look forward to All For One. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please consider going down there, hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and thank you guys so much for watching and for supporting the channel. Peace.